everybody. It is a fabulous Tuesday evening. And I've been working hard all day and I'm feeling a little bit salty. That's right, I feel a little bit ornery. Just had a couple of interesting conversations that, you know how it is. You're in the move and groove of things, and then just someone or something kind of ticks you off. Get all that crazy energy going. So we're going to talk about being fat. Yes, and it seems like, I don't know, you go through life and you learn a lot of things. And it seems like there are some people who just love being fat and love being sick. And they love talking about how miserable they are and how much medicine that they have to take. And they just love to whine and cry about everything. You know these people, type of people. Anyway, so when I came, I was living in Europe for a number of years. And when I came back to America, man, I was like, wow. I just was not prepared for this. You know, Europe, you don't see this a whole lot, this type of obesity. So, you know, what was kind of locked in my brain is how I grew up. We never saw this type of morbid, horrific obesity when I was growing up. You know, I don't know about y'all, but it was more looking like this, right? That's what I remember. How about you? How can I move this over? There we go. A little bit blurry. But you get the idea. You don't see any monster, huge, gigantic people there. Kind of how I remember these types of figures when I was growing up. So what's happening, right? What is happening? Well, there is a explanation. It's a real simple explanation what's going on. And we're going to go through that explanation right here. And we're going to take it to a place I call First Principles. Let's give it up for First Principles. And this is about how basic it is going to get. So tune in if you'd be so kind. What is the difference between the calcium you ingest in terms of food and the calcium one sees on the periodic table? What's the difference between the calcium that you see in the milk right there as you're eating your milk and cereals for breakfast that, you know, you gotta love milk and frosted flakes. What's the difference between that calcium and the calcium you see up in that crazy, scary periodic table back there in the on the wall of the chemistry class? Remember this scary table? Yeah, that one. Anyways, this periodic table, everything in the known universe is on this periodic table. Everything in the known universe. So your computer, the sandwich you're eating, everything that you see, the trees, the birds, the bees, the human beings are all made from this periodic table. And calcium is right there. All right? That's the element of calcium. What's the difference between this element here, that's circled in yellow, and then the calcium that you see in a physical, edible form? Okay, the difference is the calcium that you ingest, and the difference between the calcium you ingest and the calcium on the periodic table is the calcium on the periodic table is described as energy. Okay, it's described as energy in the form of an atomic structure which includes electrons, protons, and an atomic nucleus. Human beings cannot absorb calcium from the field of energy. Human beings cannot absorb calcium from vacuum fluctuations. All right? Maybe one day, but right now, we can't absorb the nutrients that you see on that periodic table, those nutrients that make us, those elements that make us who we are and what we are, our building blocks, our 2x4s, our 16 penny nails, our cement, our plywood, our drywall. Okay, the building materials we cannot absorb from the field of energy. Human beings need to ingest all the essential nutrients in its material and expression in a vitamin or mineral. All right, let's give it up for the vitamins or minerals that we have. So we have cured over 900 diseases in livestock which still plague humanity with clinical nutrition. We have cured over 900 diseases in livestock with still plague humanity with clinical nutrition. This isn't a myth or a legend or something that's even debatable. We've done it already. That's why you don't have cancer tumors in your pork chop. When's the last time you cut out a cancerous tumor in your sirloin steak? Would that be never? That's because we've cured all the diseases that have plagued humanity with clinical nutrition in livestock. If we propose a health insurance or pharmaceutical model for livestock, simple preliminary due diligence would reveal that a hamburger would cost over $300 a pound. And who needs that? Right? So vertebrates need about half the elements on the periodic table to survive. You see those green stars? Those are what we need to survive. The red stars are what's composed of modern fertilizer: nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. So we need around 90 of these elements to survive, and we're only putting 3 into the ground. We need 90 of these elements, these nutrients, to survive, and we're only putting 3 into the ground. All right? So, okay, so let's continue. Over the last century, the nutrient density of our food has dramatically reduced while chronic disease has skyrocketed. We have been putting 3 elements of what we need into the ground while we've been taking out the other 90 elements that we need to survive. So we've been putting 3 in and just absorbing all the other nutrients, and we have depleted our soil nutrient density over the last 100 years. And as a result, chronic disease has skyrocketed, but the MD directed professional will tell you, oh, there's no correlation, does not prove causation. There's no more chronic disease than there ever was before. It's just we're getting better at diagnosing it. I don't think so. That's what they tell you. That's what these idiots, these white coat supremacist idiots tell you, is that there's no more disease in the world. It has nothing to do with nutrition. They're just getting better at diagnosing your disease. All right? So, when we see pictures like this, when we see pictures like this, 1970 is when we were, where were we? 1970 is when we were here, right? So the people that you see, their parents were built, had nutrition, their moms had a nutritional profile around here. And so when we were born, we inherited that nutritional abundance around here. But by the time we get to where we are now, there is just, mom has no more nutritional material supplies to give. And our bodies say, oh my God, there's no materials here. We are at a deficit of construction grade building blocks. We're starving. We need to load up on everything we possibly can. And that's what's happening. All right? We went from this to this. And so, where were we? Okay. And so if you like being sick, it's really easy. Just keep doing what you're doing. If you like being fat, it's really easy. Just keep doing what you're doing. But if you want to turn things around, it's basically a three-step process. You got to cut out the bad stuff. There's a bunch of bad stuff, really bad stuff, like seed oils. The extra virgin olive oil, it turns into trans fatty acids, acrylamines, and heterocyclic amines, which destroy your soft body tissue. All right? So you got to cut that out. You got to cut out gluten. You got to cut out all the bad stuff. And then you got to give your body a chance to rest and heal. Your body has been through hell, and it's been through hell through decades. So you don't start dieting and then go to work out at the local health club. Come on. You need rest and recovery. So you need to cut out the bad stuff. You got to make sure you take care of yourself and you rest and you give your body a chance to rebuild and to repair all the horrible stuff that's been happening to it. And then you have to add the highest quality bioavailable nutritional supplements you can find. These are your construction materials. These are your building blocks. You have to add them to your diet. And it's not about what you put down the cake hole, all right? It's about what you absorb. If you're stuffing lots of gluten into your mouth, your digestive tract might be looking like a parking lot instead of a velvety rug of absorbative wonderfulness. Easy for me to say. Your intestinal tract is 26 feet long, and if it's at its full absorbative capacity, it should have, with its microvilli and its all of the structures that are available to help your body absorb nutrients, it should have the absorption capacity of a full Olympic-sized tennis court, right? Like a full professional tennis court. That's how big of a landscape your intestinal potential has. But if you're filled with gluten damage and you can't absorb anything, your intestines might look like this, and so you're eating all of this great stuff but you're not absorbing, and so you're still going to be fat, you're still going to be tired, you're still going to be miserable, and that's not cool. All right, so once again, You need to cut out the bad stuff. You need to give your body a chance to rest and to heal, and then you have to add the highest quality bioavailable nutrition supplements you can get your hands on. So if you want to lose weight, the first step is to not work out. All right? All right? You don't have to work out. You heard it here first. To lose weight, you don't have to work out. That's right. You don't want to sweat out all of the nutrients that you're putting in. So when you first start on your weight loss regenerative healthy campaign, you do not want to start jumping into the gym and sweating out everything that you're putting in. So cut out the bad stuff, give your body a chance to rest, incorporate the good stuff, and you're on your way. And so the last thing I want to sort of say is just to illustrate it a little bit more visually. Okay, so you see this? Let's give a hand for this lovely feminine shape. That's a lovely Marilyn Monroe. Okay, no Photoshop, just a nicely round rear end. All right, a nice, lovely little belly. Right? So this body was built, right? Her mom built her around here with all of the nutrients that are needed still in the soil. And then if you look at this, all right, where's my... Not very attractive. This is Kim Kardashian's rear end. All right, you see that cellulite bubulus thing? All right, that was built around here. No nutrients in the soil. So this is a look of distress. The body's freaking out. Oh my God, what will we do? There's no nutrients. There's no materials. What do? That body was built around that time in history. This body was built around this time in history. Okay? There's no mystery here. There's no nothing to argue. So you have to make a decision, right? Do you want to look like this or do you want to look like that? Up to you. Here's what you got to do if you want to look and feel your best. Cut out the bad stuff, give your body a chance to rest and heal, and incorporate the good stuff. That's the foundation. And it's not easy. We're surrounded by all this food that's designed to make us get addicted to it, and it tastes great, and it's just bad for you. So it takes discipline. And if you're one of those people who loves to, no energy, I'm so sick, I'm so fat, just don't waste the time of people like me who will expect that you'll have discipline and you'll have focus. Don't use my time as a platform for you to be all like this sympathy magnet. Don't use me. Oh, I'm working with this guy and nothing is going right for me. Oh, give me more sympathy. If you like being fat, if you like being sick, that's fine. That's great. But if you don't, if you want to change your life, you can do it. I've done it. You can do it. Millions of people around the world are doing it. But it takes focus and it takes a certain amount of discipline. And so if you're interested in learning more, contact me at info@liamgaligas.com, info@liamgaligas.com, right there, info@liamgaligas.com. And we could get started on a mindset. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm a mindset engineer. So the first thing we have to do is we have to make sure you have the proper mindset so that you understand. And then within that framework of the proper mindset, you make the choices, you get the expert opinions, and then you sort of lock in the deal and take charge of your own restoration. So I can sort of give you the overview on what needs to happen as far as how to rebuild your house, right? How to rebuild your body, how to rebuild your how to rebuild the foundation of what you are, your physical nature, and then you're gonna have to take the ball and run from there. But you need the proper mindset, and I could provide that. All right. Well, this is Liam to all the fatties in the house. If you like being fat, you don't need me. If you want to change, let's talk. All right. It was great having this chat. We'll see you again next time. Take care. All right.